Next function we need to make is the random RGB colors. So we're going to do the same kind of thing, only this time we're not going to use a for loop, we're going to use a while loop. Let us start first with the keyword function, and we're going to call this gen RGB color. There's the complete syntax of our function. There's nothing in it yet, so we're going to do some stuff now. RGB is comprised of 3 values. That's R, right, for red, G for green, B for blue. So we're going to need to have a loop that turns 3 times. I can use a while loop and have it check for a specific condition. So let's first start with our color list. So var color list, and I'm going to set it to an empty list. So every time you see these square brackets, I want you to think list, or if I say array, again, think list. So when I say array, you say list. Okay, so now that we've got that, we're going to use our while loop, and it's going to check for a condition before it runs. So it's going to check specifically for our color list. I want this to be color list dot length. And as long as it is less than 3, I want it to do the following. Append item. So this is code.org's version of push in JavaScript. And it basically tells us it takes two arguments, right? One is the list we want to add to, and the value we want to add to it. So I'm going to say get random int, and I'm going to pass it 0, 255. So it's going to basically go to random int, get a value from 0 to 255, insert it into the color list. We can do the following and say console.log color list. So we can see the items generated in the color list as we go through the while loop. So let's go ahead and reset and run. And if I go to gen RGB, I can see the first time it goes through the loop, it gets the value 24. The second time it goes through the loop, it gets the value 242. And the last time it goes through the loop, it gets the value 99. After it's done with the while loop, so this is just going to go through 3 times, append the item 3 times. I want it to then return the following values. And I'm going to put this, it needs to return a string that's a proper CSS value. So RGB parentheses. And this is how every RGB value is done. So we're going to take color list dot join. And join automatically uses comma separated values. So just like a regular RGB list of colors. So we're using the while loop to just generate 3 values. See, as long as the length is less than 3, we're going to keep doing the while loop. Once it becomes 3, then it stops. Now let's take another look at what we got in our console. So hit reset, hit run. So now we have a value that says RGB 8528.174. You can see that it's different from what we had before. It just takes that list and joins it all together and returns this value. This is the end of part 2. Here we worked with a while loop, and it was kind of different in that it did not use a variable like I to keep track. I wanted to demonstrate that any loop that has a condition that is true will keep running until it is false. Once that condition is no longer true, the loop will stop running. We did not do a lot with lists here, but we did learn the join method, and we went over how to concatenate a string again. I hope you found this fun and enjoyable. I hope you learned a few things about loops. Happy coding, everyone! I'll see you in the next video when we learn about HSL colors.